You're muted. Joe, I think you're muted.
So you heard none of that. Hey, everybody. I was saying hi to everybody in chat, and you didn't hear me. So I'm good for that about once every 3 or 4 shows to start the show muted. But hi, Ember. Hi, Robin. Hi, Jess. That cool intro you just seen there, that was Jess's work. Be sure to tell her good job on that. What's up, Seth? And Jason, Filbert, Al. I'm sure I missed somebody, but hi, everybody. If you noticed, the lady next to me is not Robin today. What's up, Lil?
Hey, not much. Just trying to survive this news cycle.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, we've got quite a bit to talk about today. Obviously, the world's been kind of crazy, and even though we were off for a couple weeks, I don't. We're not going to be reaching that far back. Obviously, there's plenty to talk about right now. I'm sure you guys are aware of some of these stories, but we're going to get a little deeper into them than just telling them, I guess. So, anyway, Lil, so you're going to be my new sidekick over here on the political show. We call it Politicality. Just some stupid name I came up with for some reason, but
I like it.
yeah, it's grown on me as I've used it. But anyway, you want to tell people a little bit about your background or what you do, like so they understand where you're
Sure.
coming from here.
Sure. I was born and raised in Texas. I was raised in a conservative family, but not like backcrap crazy conservative, like somewhat reasonable. Um, I started getting into politics around the year 2000 with that presidential race and have been following it very, very closely for the last 25 years. Um, I've been working with political commentators and political news for about the last 14 years now. So I've neck deep in this stuff all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, that you and I recently just met because of some other crap, and then like we got to talking about some stuff, and I was like, hey, why don't you, Robin, is stepping away and doing other things, so why don't you come and co-host with me and do this? And seemed like a good idea, and as we've talked a lot about it, I'm even more sure that it was a good idea. So um but yeah, well, so let's just get right into it, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a crazy. Like, I'm used to crazy news cycles. This one's been exceptionally crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, anything to distract from the Epstein files, I guess. Right.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing that I've pointed out to multiple people over the last couple weeks so is no matter what he does, even if it manages to knock Epstein out for maybe 24 hours, Epstein still comes right back. Like
yeah,
he can't. This is the one story in 10 years I've seen him not be able to shake at all. He just
yeah.
cannot do it.
It's not going away.
No.
In fact, even with all these other things going on, there's still progress being made there. Thomas Massey did an interview and stuff the other day and talked about it a little bit. But
Mhm.
and as we go, as everyone expected, Trump becomes more and more implicated. But we've known that since before Epstein files was even a thing, right? Like
Mhm.
as soon as Epstein
Yeah.
was in jail, everybody was like, "That was Trump's best friend," you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, this is. I mean, he was able to bury it for like when he wasn't. president, and of course his whole thing was like one of his big campaign promises was like, "I'll release the Epstein files." Of course, he gets into office and he has absolutely no intention of doing that.
Hmm.
And I said several months ago, I said, if you think that he won't start a war to distract from these, you are wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was dead on right.
Yeah, I mean, early on, we remember like before he did all the stuff with
Mm-hmm.
Canada and Greenland before, and was threatening those places to, and it was a distraction then. And
Mm-hmm.
you can say hi to people.
Hi, Kip. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Hi, Kip. How's it going? And yeah, real quick, I'll mention this since it's in the chat and everybody's talking about it. Robin has a debate on Proverbs, guys, on the 16th at 5 p.m. Central Time, and I will be mirroring that. There won't be a live broadcast. It'll just be a mirror of the debate so that you can
Mm-hmm.
talk in chat in a like atheist area or whatever. Um, Proverbs guys, you can go over there obviously and interact with them live, but you
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to interact here. It'll just be me mirroring that. But yeah, that'll be available on the day it happens and everything. So check that out. Support Robin. Go over there and say hi to her too,
Mm-hmm.
or go watch it there. I don't mind. I'm just playing it here as a place for people to be able to talk a little more freely because moderation is a thing over there. We won't get into it. Uh, but so that leads us into what Trump's willing to do and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so we'll start there.
This whole thing with Venezuela is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah,
And I've seen multiple people that have told me, they're like, well, Venezuelans are really happy about this. We're going to finally get freedom and we're going to finally get elections. No, you're not. You're getting the Maduro regime with a new figurehead that is more likely to do what Trump wants. Like, that's it. Like, if they were even going to attempt to show that maybe things might be changing, they could have demanded that some of the political prisoners be let out. But no, they didn't. There's, I think, 800, at least 800 political prisoners, including journalists and stuff, that are in prison in Venezuela. None of them are out. This is the
yeah,
same regime under a different figurehead that, and one of the, like, most bonkers part about this is that Trump thought Maduro was mocking him with a dance, and apparently that is one of the things that led to the decision to go grab Maduro. What?
yeah. Trump got his little fifis hurt because somebody other than him is a leader of a country that dances. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Maduro, let's be clear, not a good guy, right? Like
Yeah.
not, yeah,
To be
not
fair, most world leaders are not. Most of them
right.
have,
And,
yeah.
and but I mean that doesn't mean you get to violate the
Mm-hmm.
sovereign borders of another nation and go in
Mm-hmm.
and literally kidnap him, drag him back to the United States, and do all that. That's a number of international laws broken.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention all the stuff going on with the boats and everything before that, but also this
Mm-hmm.
just kind of shows that was never about what they said it was, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, which we knew, but it just
Mm-hmm.
supports that. Uh, so, um, actually, I guess since we went that route with it, I'm going to. This is a quote from the New York Times that I got in my email, and I'm not going to show it on screen because I'm just going to read a very little bit of it. But President Trump wrote on social media last night, this is from yesterday, that Venezuela would begin sending oil to the U.S. and that he would control the profits from selling it. The White House also said it had not ruled out military invasion of Greenland, though Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Trump would prefer to buy the territory. Um,
Mm-hmm.
It goes on to say that Vice President J.D. Vance offered his answer on Saturday. Any nation that crosses the United States and defies its wishes does so at its own peril. President Trump, he said, was very clear throughout this process. The drug trafficking must stop and the stolen oil must be returned to the United States. Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary, had a more uh, I don't even know that word, epigrammatic take on the Maduro thing. He effed around and found out was his quote.
To who?
What? Why is
Mhm.
Siri? Shut up. Sorry, I didn't. Uh, but anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Kip just said, my suspicion, not that I actually know anything about psychology, is that there's a personality type to aspire to state leadership. Um, and it does not encompass goodness. Usually, in order to get into politics, you have to have some level of narcissism
yeah,
to get in there. And leaders that end up being strongmen and dictators and stuff tend to fall into the malignant narcissist category, which is the same category that Hitler was in.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, not that there aren't people in public office who are good leaders that
Hmm.
um, aren't good in a lot of ways, but I mean, there's usually some kind of dirt in there. About
Yeah.
with all of them. I mean,
Hmm.
it's always been like a well-known stereotype of politicians that they're liars and some of the dirtiest people,
Yeah.
and like they every day prove that to be true, and that's
Yeah.
not limited by which side of the aisle you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
go
And
ahead.
my biggest point with like which side of the aisle you're on is like, okay, the Republicans at this point, the Trumpist MAGA party is just outright evil at this point. They are.
Yeah.
They just plain are. The Democrats aren't doing shit, but they are not the same. There is a very objective difference between the two. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree, and yeah, I'm glad you said that because I want to be clear. When I
hmm,
said this takes place on both sides of the aisle, I'm not
yeah,
equivocating the two; they're not equal.
yeah. I mean, they're both not great, and I really wish we had a different system where we didn't have a two-party system. But the reality is that's what we've got at the moment, and
Yeah,
the parties are not the same. They're just not.
yeah, that's what we have at the moment.
Hmm.
MAGA's falling apart, but I don't know if it's falling apart from the Republican Party or the whole
Hmm.
Republican Party's falling apart, or it's still kind of up in the air what's going to happen with that. A lot of people refer to
Hmm.
it as the MAGA Civil War. I don't think that that's quite correct, but
I don't know. I mean, Mac has been fracturing for a while, and the cracks are even starting to show even more now than they were even a few weeks ago. It really started up with the Epstein files and them not releasing them, and this was like several months ago. Um, it started with there's several issues that have played into it, but yeah, like MAGA's fracturing, and there is nobody out there that could take the mantle of MAGA and unite the party like Trump has.
right,
So once he's gone, it's going to be an all out battle for who gets the throne, and I don't think any of them is going to get it with any. They're not going to have a united party behind them at all. Like it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
not like it has been. So it's going to change.
yeah. No, I think that and we see this with politics though, like whenever
Hmm.
one party takes power, people are displeased with it. Not quite to the level that they are this time, but the and then you see the other parties start to take power again, and
Hmm.
but this time I think the difference is people are very very displeased with Trump's
Yeah,
handling of every issue.
yeah,
He's
and I
underwater
mean,
on all of them.
yeah, and there's I mean, I know people who were Trump supporters and Trump voters on immigration, but they bought into the we're going after, the murderers and criminals. They're not, and they're just like, okay, like, don't be going after people who have been here 30 years. That's kind of crappy. Then there's people who have broke with him over his continued support of Israel. There's people who have broken with him over the Epstein files. There's people who have broken with him over the economy because they finally realize how bad it's hurt. The one thing he can't lie to people about is their own damn pocketbooks. You
Yeah.
know how much you're paying at the store. He cannot lie to you about that no matter what he tries to do because you see your grocery bill every week.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he's ever experienced that, so he doesn't.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
He
I
may.
said on one of the shows, I think it was the last show Robin and I did. I said that
Mm-hmm.
like Trump. He said in the Oval Office in one of the times he was awake and not asleep that the he said, "Oh, affordability. People aren't feeling that with the grocery thing. Yeah, things are a little bit up, but nobody cares
Mm-hmm.
about that." And yeah, someone who's never bought groceries. Did you just bark at me, Lou?
No, that was my Kip barking. By the way, for anybody who does not know, I have a dog named Dr. Kip. So there's human shaped Kip and dog shaped Kip. That was dog shaped Kip.
Awesome. Uh,
She's very opinionated.
so anyway, shortly after the Venezuela debacle, I guess, Trump and
Mm-hmm.
Lindsey Graham are on Air Force One, and we're going to take a look at some of the things they said. This was
Mm-hmm.
a 38-minute press interview here. He does these things on Air Force One. It's kind of ridiculous, and you'll hear the plane the whole time. But this was 38 minutes. I managed to cut it down to about 4, and that was all the pertinent information that was in it. But let's take a look at that, and we'll talk about it as we go.
Now we're in the business of having countries around us that are viable and successful, and where the oil is allowed to freely come out because that's good. It gets the prices down. That's good for our country. Now we have a very sick neighbor. It's not a neighbor, but it's close to a neighbor, and that's Venezuela. It's very sick. Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States, and he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
So this is going to be a thing where we see
Mm-hmm.
he makes these threats at other nations constantly, but he mentions that the first thing he talks about is oil, and that's all we're going to hear from Trump about this. Everybody keeps trying to
Mm-hmm.
say, well, Maduro is this and this and this, and every time they ask Trump, the only thing he says is oil, oil, oil. And as
Yeah.
I told you from the article before, he says that they've got the oil and he alone controls the profits from that oil. So we know what's happening there, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's what he's going after the oil, and it's very, very clear that he has no idea about oil production, what kind of oil is good for what. It's clear that he has no idea about any
you know,
of this. He just sees oil and sees dollar signs and think it's going into his personal pocket.
yeah. Uh, he yeah, he's I've always said that, his
Mm-hmm.
will to do evil is always outdone by his incompetency. The
Yeah.
He's not a very smart guy, which
No, he's not.
uh
He's not. He's someone mentioned, and I forgot what show it was on, but somebody mentioned that he's being the president like he ran The Apprentice, and that's exactly what he's doing.
oh
I
yeah, for
mean,
sure.
it's just a, you know I have to portray this image, so this is what, my brain thinks a Hollywood president does and is all tough and crap, so I'm going to act this way. And on top of that, like, yeah, he's like the biggest narcissist ever, which, if it is true that Maduro dancing, and Trump does mention it, in the or the like thing that he did with the GOP at the Kennedy Center, if that is one of the reasons that he went after Maduro when he did, that is absolutely insane. It's
Yeah.
like, why the hell do we have a president that is doing this? Like, I might have not. I obviously did not like Bush. I was not a Bush fan. Bush wouldn't have pulled this, though. He wouldn't have gone
No.
after somebody because he didn't like their dance.
Yeah. No, I mean, and there was arguments too that the Bush's invasion of Iraq was about oil and all that. There was that, but this is, I mean, he never said anything about oil or wasn't just as upfront about. Yeah, I mean, what Trump did here, normally we would call this piracy, I think, but we'll let him go on a little bit here.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me.
The bottom line is, we talked about a drug caliphate in our backyard. We had Venezuela, we have Cuba, we have Colombia in our backyard. And these three countries have been condemned ever since I've been in politics. So what has he done? He's going to clear our backyard of a drug caliphate. Countries run by narco-terrorist dictators who murder, rape, send drugs into our country to kill thousands of our citizens. To my Democratic friends, you should be celebrating this.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Holy crap, dude.
First of all, those countries doing those things, we have methods of sanctions and different diplomatic ways of punishing those places that are effective and have been shown to be effective. These military operations, by the way, not in any way approved by Congress, which should have been a thing here. He broke the law, United States law, by doing that. But you don't get to, because there's bad things going on in a certain country, to just go and violate their borders and take over and run it the way you see fit. And Trump can't even run this country. So what he's trying to do with other countries, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I mean, with his constant threats of like going after Greenland and stuff, like that stuff is not just, and it never was, but that stuff is not just threats. Like, he is advertising what he's going to do at this
point. Yeah. Yeah, he talks about Greenland here. Yeah, we'll see that in a second.
And as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans.
And by doing business, you mean by taking their oil and controlling the profits?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we talk about the puppet regime that'll be running it because Trump is actually calling the shots. But oil was Venezuela's one of their major commodities, right? So commodity is not the right word. One of their major resources, and they by taking that, I mean, do you think that this isn't somehow going to affect their economy and the people there? And I mean,
I mean, of course it is. And here's the thing. To all the Americans who are thinking like, well, we did this horrible thing, but at least it'll help our economy with the oil. Dude, it's going to the freaking oil companies. It's not going to you. It's not going in anyone's pocket except the oil companies that are some of the most profitable countries in the world.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. It's absolutely insane.
This is a big frigging day. But right after the election, he told me, I'm going to clean up our backyard.
By the way, you have to do something with Mexico. Mexico has to get their act together because they're pouring through Mexico, and we're going to have to do something. We'd love Mexico to do it. They're capable of doing it, but unfortunately the cartels are very strong.
Are you going to demand that Delcy Rodriguez let opposition figures return or free any political prisoners?
We haven't gotten to that yet. Right now what we want to do is fix up the oil, fix up the country, bring the country back, and then have elections.
What the hell? Yeah. We don't give a shit about those people. We care about the oil, is what he said, for those not listening.
Yeah, that was like the biggest like poo-poo of like, yeah, we'll have elections at some point. Like, no, you're not planning on having elections because you're going to handpick whoever is like, you're like, okay, well, let's see about Maduro's VP doing this and seeing if she'll do what we want. And if she doesn't do what he wants, you know what? He's going to do the same thing to her that he did to Maduro. And it's just going to keep going until somebody gets there. One of the things that I've seen about this that is just insanity is that one of the biggest issues with the opposition leader, who is obviously far more right wing, is the simple fact that she accepted the Nobel Peace Prize. Like,
Yeah.
he basically ruled her out, period, because not because she dedicated it to him, which she did afterwards, but she also did not go up there and say, I can't accept this because this belongs to Trump. Like, oh my God, how petty can you be? I mean, this is a personal vendetta for him. This is a war on a personal vendetta.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll read this and I'll let you answer it, though. If Kamala would have won, she'd now be toppling Maduro, and people would be more favorable with her because she's a Dem and supposed to be one of the good ones, I'm afraid.
I don't think she would have. I don't think she would start a war with Venezuela. She probably would have thrown more sanctions and other stuff on them. But she would not have started a war, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone other than Trump that's ever held this office or ran for this office would have so blatantly violated international and U.S. law in order to do this. I don't think that. And Kamala Harris also knows that had she done this, they probably would have had a mob at the White House over it, because that's how the right behaves.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on.
Is it fair? We better bring the country back, otherwise you're gonna have a mess that's so bad. It was really bad. It's gonna get a lot worse unless we go in and fix it.
So do you expect to take
he's constantly talking about fixing the damn country. One, fix your own country first, which he obviously cannot do. But even if somehow we could excuse going in and doing regime change, there are much better countries that like have dictators that are causing global harm at the moment. We have countries that have genocidal leaders. We have countries that are basically starting wars all over the place just because they want to. Like, there's other leaders to go for if you really want a war like that.
Yeah.
Like, Venezuela was just easy pickings. It was just easy.
People on the right, and I guess obviously it's people who support Trump, but they fall for this thing he does where it's like, everything's bad and I'm gonna fix it, but he never has any method to do that. It's always just because I'm handling it, it's gonna be better. I'm a failed businessman pretending to be a successful businessman that was the worst president in history by any metric you look at. And you elected me again, so I'm gonna make it all great. But he's everything he touches goes to shit.
And everything is 2 weeks. I'll have the plan out in 2 weeks. Dude, you've been saying that for almost 10 years now on some things.
Yeah.
Greenland. Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela.
He real quick. He doesn't want to talk about Greenland. Okay, going on.
Russia, Ukraine, and we'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
He says, let's talk about Greenland in 20 days. Like, as in he's planning to do something to Greenland. But
yeah, I mean, that's like 2 weeks, 2 months, 20 days. Like, that's just kind of his thing for, I'm just shoving this till later. And the thing is that the people who are here, who are saying, like, yeah, you know, we need Greenland. Do you understand the international shit show that's going to cause? Because it literally, NATO is gone. Like, NATO is not a thing anymore, and we're probably going to be at war with NATO. It's NATO attacking their own.
Article 5 of NATO's charter says that an attack on any NATO country is equivalent to an attack on all of them, and that they should act accordingly. So, if he invades Greenland, at least currently, unless something changes with Denmark, which that's not going to happen. Denmark is not giving him Greenland. Unless that happens, though, he's going to attack a NATO country, and you know, this is a danger to all of us. What he's doing, even the words that they're saying on Air Force One, which this gets worse in a minute, but the words that they're saying now are dangerous to all of us. And NATO is not under U.S. control. NATO is not a U.S. entity.
Yeah. And one thing about Greenland that is often missed in all this is the fact that they have been fighting for their independence from Denmark for decades. This situation alone, as it stands, already sets that back years, because now they're having to depend on Denmark for their own security. Yeah. So it's like, screw what the people of Greenland want. Like, we just don't care. Right. And we're going to do what we want to. It's just, it's nuts. Like,
it's frustrating to listen to. I know. All right. We got a little bit more of this, so I'm going to let him go for a second here.
All right.
By the way, I will say this about Greenland. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over.
So real quick, he wasn't going to talk about Greenland, but now we're talking about Greenland. And he says we need Greenland for strategic reasons and national security. Because of Greenland being part of Denmark, which is part of NATO, we can put bases on Greenland. That's perfectly fine. We can do military stuff on Greenland legally without taking Greenland. The reason he wants to take Greenland is because he thinks he's going to extract the resources from it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, while the NATO commander is U.S. military, there's still the thing. Here's the thing of how unprecedented this is. There is, as far as I know, there is nothing in, like, NATO's charter or anything about what if one of the NATO countries turns on other NATO countries. There's nothing in there about that. Especially what happens if the biggest country in NATO turns on one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's going to cause... It's not going to cause... It already is causing an international incident, and this could get very, very bad very, very quickly.
I like this from Aunt Jor. Look at Lindsay's stupid face. He's like a bobblehead, so happy to agree with anything Trump says. Lindsay has been characterized as foaming at the mouth during this because he was just so happy to be doing this. And we'll see more of Lindsay in just a minute. But yeah, I don't. It puts NATO in an impossible situation because part of their planning on how to handle attacks and things includes the United States. But Trump has made it clear during his first term that he wanted out of NATO. So, and they have been for some time planning how to do things without the U.S. So,
yeah. I mean, what better way if you're Trump to get out of NATO than starting a war with Denmark?
We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it, I can tell you. You know what Denmark did recently to boost up security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled. It's true. They thought that was a great move.
What would the justification be for a claim to Greenland? What would the justification?
Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenland now. I just say this. We need Greenland from the standpoint.
I don't want to talk about Greenland. Here's Greenland again.
Yeah.
And the European Union needs us to have it, and they know that. Every single drug addict from Maduro's country, which isn't really his country, and it's certainly not his country anymore. Every drug addict and every drug dealer has been sent into our country. Now, we're getting them back, but it's a very laborious job to get.
Wow.
Yeah, just completely unhinged. Not in any way close to reality.
Have you noticed that he does not know what political asylum is? Because every time he hears this, he's like, they're sending people from mental institutions, because that's the only asylum that he knows of.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what political asylum is.
Yeah.
This guy, I used to make fun of Bush for being stupid. This guy makes Bush look like a genius, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Yesterday, Trump announced he plans to withdraw from 66 international organizations. Yeah, I've seen that. So Lindsey Graham, as we were talking about, went on to do an interview on Sean Hannity's show on the Fox Propaganda Network, and this is now we've shown here that Trump's approach to this is at best illegal and problematic. What goes on here, and I don't think Lindsey Graham would say any of these things without Donald Trump's blessing, but what he says here, again, puts us all in a lot of danger, and he threatens nuclear nations and everything, but I'll let you see it for yourself. Here you go.
What always strikes me about Lindsey Graham every time he comes out and is like writing for Trump all the way, one of his best friends was John McCain. What the hell would John McCain think? And he said multiple times before Trump came into office that Biden was one of his best friends too.
Yeah.
Talk about, oh my, like how, dude, come on, man. This guy has no principles at all. I don't think any of them do.
No, he has no spine. He's just whatever. He was kissing Joe Biden's ass when Joe Biden was president, and now he flip-flops on Trump. When he thinks everybody's against Trump, he speaks out against Trump when they're not. I mean, at one time, Lindsey Graham, and I should have brought it, but Lindsey Graham did interviews where he said that Trump was a con artist, and that he was going to run the economy and all the things that the bad things that Trump has done. Lindsey Graham said all these things about Trump numerous times. But let's listen to him try to get us all in a nuclear war.
Joining us now, South Carolina Senators Lindsey Graham, Tim Scott. Welcome, both of you, both friends of the program. Lindsey Graham, I don't see how Cuba can survive, number one. You know, we had Maria Machado on the program last night, the opposition leader. She had won over 92% to be the opposition leader. Maduro took her off the ballot.
Yeah.
How do you see this transition? Because you can't move too quickly, or else that military effort is for nothing.
Right. Here's how I see it.
Real quick, if we cared about Venezuela and we know that she had 92% of the vote, and he took office anyway. Why would we? And we're doing regime change, which is they've admitted we're doing a regime change. Why
Yeah.
would we not be putting the person that won the election in office?
Yeah. Like if that's the line they're following, why not do that? But
You know why, right?
yeah, exactly. Because he wants a puppet. Like
Because she won a Nobel Peace Prize.
yeah. And because he also wants a puppet state. Now, if
Yeah.
he was assured that she would bend over backwards and do everything that he wanted other than winning the Nobel Peace Prize, yeah, she'd be in office right now. Like, it just, it's, yeah, like, I mean, it's one of those things that the pattern that you see with this, and I've heard some talk about that there might have been a deal with Russia for basically trading Ukraine for Venezuela. So I wouldn't be surprised if we drop any and all support for Ukraine and start backing Russia before too long. But if that's the case, it really looks like how they were trying to divide up the world after World War II. So it would be like Russia gets Europe, China gets Asia and the Pacific, and the US gets the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah,
And it's
and I
just
mean,
like, what the hell, dude? Like, no. Like, I thought we were done with this imperialist bullshit. I thought we were
well,
done
I
with
mean that's the big implication here, because
it.
if the stronger country can just go in and violate the borders of the weaker countries, then China's been eyeballing Taiwan for some time. Uh, Russia's looking at Ukraine. The you know this sets the precedent that it's okay to do those things. How in the world are you to speak out against doing stuff like that when you just did the exact same thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's yeah, I mean, that's what they're trying to do. Because if you look at all the countries that, not necessarily Lindsey Graham, but that Trump and Trump's administration have been saying that they want to go after, they're all in the Western Hemisphere. That is what they're trying to do. And of course, all the far right wing leaders, like in Argentina, Trump is all buddy buddy with them and is not threatening them at all. But anybody who's even remotely to the left of Trump, he's threatening. I mean, he's talking about going after Mexico. Like, holy crap, dude, leave Mexico the hell alone.
Yeah. All right, so we'll let Lindsey Graham go for a second here. He threatens everybody.
See the transition in Venezuela. Very good for America, very good for the Venezuelan people. Who's in charge of Venezuela? Donald J. Trump. Now, people from the regime, the old regime, are helping us. We don't want to put a bunch of troops on the ground. So we got people from the old regime helping us rebuild the country to transition to democratic elections. There will be regime change in Venezuela through the ballot box. But who's in charge of Venezuela? Donald J. Trump. If you defy him, if you're one of the holdovers and you try to undercut him, what happened to Maduro is going to happen to you. But there'll be a day in the future when the country is ready for elections, free and fair, that will elect people that will be allies of the United States. The dictator, the thug, is in jail in New York. Donald J. Trump, in my view, is the greatest president of all time.
Bitch, please. Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of horse shit. So
I mean, with a lot of the Republicans at this point, too, I think it's also just kind of a sunk cost fallacy with them, because they know that their reputation is completely gone the second Trump is out of office. They know that they're done.
yeah,
They have no credibility.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who controls Venezuela? Donald J. Trump. And yeah, we went and got Maduro because his administration does all this drug trafficking and all these other things. But we're still working with his administration. We just took over. He wouldn't do the things that we told him to do. So we're going to give the vice president a shot at doing the things we tell her to do. And if she doesn't, we'll put somebody else in. They will never give this up. the one thing we know about politics is that anytime they get any kind of power or anything, they never ever give it up.
Yeah, they don't.
And they will never turn Venezuela back over. Venezuela has some of the largest oil reserves in the world, and so although it's not the greatest oil, it's still money, and it's still the major product that they can profit off of. And with Trump controlling the profits, I mean, we're talking billions of barrels of oil and trillions of dollars. So
Yeah.
They will never ever give it up.
No, they won't. They won't. I mean, it's one thing that a lot of people forget about this, but like when the Iraq War was ongoing, and then after it was pretty much over, one thing he said over and over and over again was, "We should have taken the oil. We should have taken the oil. We should have taken the oil."
Yeah,
that's exactly what he's doing here.
Yeah, I mean, he started taking oil tankers to begin with, and this argument that they stole the oil or that it belongs to us. This goes back to the United States helping put in some of the infrastructure and stuff.
Yeah, U.S. companies.
Yeah, Venezuela taps very little of that oil. Like they're compared to how much there is, they're not really pulling a whole bunch of it, and so that doesn't benefit the U.S. and the oil companies. And Trump said on part that I clipped out of that Air Force One thing. And by the way, guys, all of these clips and all the articles and everything I read from are all in the description, links to the sources for these things if you want to go look at them yourself. All of it's down there. You can go look at all of it. Most of it's YouTube videos. There's a few articles and stuff linked down there too. But they the oil companies, though, I mean, they see dollar signs with this. And Trump said in that interview that, hey, I talked to the oil companies before, during, and after this whole thing. This has been a plan,
Yeah, and that, honestly, it almost doesn't even make sense, because I can see the oil companies being super reluctant to go into Venezuela and redo all this infrastructure. I mean, that's going to be incredibly expensive. And from what I've heard from a couple other sources, is like some of the oil companies were like, I don't know if we want to do this or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think honestly, he's got dollar signs in his eyes, and he's just winging it on what he thinks people are going to do, and then gets really pissed off whenever they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So.
He is cutting your taxes. He's cutting spending. Every narco-terrorist drug dealer.
By the way, no. He
Only
cut the
for the
taxes
rich.
for rich people, and spending is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
A drug leader is on the run. Cuba is on death watch. Cuba depends on Russia and Venezuela. Both of them are in a box. It's just a matter of time, and I mean a short time, to the communist dictatorship in Cuba that has oppressed their people since the mid-50s falls to be replaced with a democracy friendly to the United States. Cuba will be the Singapore of the region. To the people of Cuba, help is on the way. And finally, to the people of Iran, we stand with you tonight. We stand for you taking back your country from the Ayatollah, a religious Nazi, who kills you and terrorizes the world. We pray for you.
Rich.
We support you. Donald J. Trump is not Barack Obama. He has your back. And to the Ayatollahs, you need to understand, if you keep killing your people who are demanding a better life, Donald J. Trump is going to kill you. Change is coming to Iran. It'll be the biggest change in the history of the Mideast to get rid of this Nazi regime. To the people of Iran, help is on.
So
him
this
calling
is
them
Russia
Nazis.
narrative.
Wow. Him calling them Nazis.
This is the Russian narrative, right?
Yeah.
The regime is Nazis, and we're going to denazify they've attacked Venezuela, Mexico, Cuba, Iran, which, by the way, not in the Western Hemisphere. Greenland, Canada. I mean, it's just these threats and threatening, I mean, directly threatening to kill the Ayatollah, which do we know how the Ayatollah became a thing in Iran? We put
Yeah.
him there.
Mm-hmm.
We gave him the job. So,
Yep.
but aside from the point, I guess, but openly threatening to kill these leaders of these nuclear nations and stuff is just crazy. Like, Iran. Well, I don't think Iran, could defeat us in a war or whatever. I do think that that doesn't mean there wouldn't be collateral damage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be clear, like the reason why they're going after Iran, I can almost guarantee you that Israel's putting them up to it. Israel
Oh
doesn't want to
yeah,
spend their resources, and they know we will because Trump is bomb happy. He is.
yeah. When we
I
went
mean,
in and bombed Iran already,
I would.
none of this was ever said, right?
No. But here's the thing. I would really like to know because somebody somewhere has kept him from dropping nukes at this point. So I would like to know who that is.
Well,
Somebody has stopped him from doing it.
well, I famously, whenever they were talking about hurricanes, he wanted to nuke hurricanes. So I imagine that he has definitely wanted to nuke other nations.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I'm almost certain there's somebody who has been like, you really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the only people. There's a reason why the US is the only country that's ever dropped a nuke because people realized real quick how bad those things were and how horrific they are, and that we should have never done them to begin with.
Do you know who the largest importer of heroin is?
Importer, no.
It's the United States government. The
Doesn't surprise me.
so let's be clear here. I'm not arguing, and we are not arguing that these are good people or that things are good in these countries, but getting us into a world war, these people have allies and things, right? Getting us into a world war is not the answer. Attacking NATO, attacking Iran and its allies, attacking all these other countries is not the answer to these problems. These are delicate things that have to be handled with a little bit, just a touch of finesse, and they don't have that. So I'm not arguing that we wouldn't like to see the Ayatollah gone from Iran. Obviously, we would.
Yeah.
But
Kip makes a good point, and I had forgotten about this, but he says not quite. The U.S. installed and backed the Shah, which was an authoritarian dictator. The Iranian people got sick and tired of the Shah and replaced him with the Ayatollah. I have forgotten that.
Yeah, I left out the middle part there. That it's a result of U.S. interference. Like this, what you see going on in Iran is very much a problem we are at the foundation of. I'll put it that way.
A lot of the problems we are at the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are regimes and stuff across the world that are doing terrible things to their people and human rights violations and misogyny against women, and all of those things are true, and I'm with anybody who wants to speak out against those things, but this is not how you handle that. You don't just go on TV and threaten to kill a religious nut job.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason, honestly, why I think they're doing that is because I know that I know that they have Israel on their side who wants to wipe out Iran, and they also have Saudi Arabia on their side. Saudi Arabia doesn't get along with Iran either, and they would be thrilled to not have to worry about Iran. So, yeah, like, it's just, oh my god, like, we are, quote unquote, allies with some of the worst people in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it would be something if Hannity is just saying this on his show. Lindsey Graham is a representative of our country. Like he's a senator. He's speaking, with a little bit of authority here. And while we all know Lindsey Graham's a joke and all that, these places aren't going to take that this way.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised, especially with Iran. They're kind of known for putting hits out on
Yeah.
people that do this kind of thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't endangered himself, but he's definitely endangered the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't care. He only cares if it's about if there's a threat against him personally.
I think Lindsay is an atheist.
Boy. Did you really have this hat on Air Force One with President Trump this weekend? The one that says, am I reading that right? Does that say "Make Iran Great Again"? Did you give that to the president?
I did, and he's not Barack Obama. He's not turning his back on the people of Iran who are demanding that their oppression end. And to the Ayatollah and his thugs, if you keep killing your people in defiance of President Trump, you're going to wake up dead.
Yeah.
Iran is on the verge of falling.
Because waking up dead is a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make Iran great again. Yeah, that's obviously this is a poke at make America great again. Which, if we're saying do the same thing to Iran that's been done in America, I'm sure they don't fucking want that, right? Like,
I don't think anybody does. Holy
Yeah,
crap. We don't want it, and we live here.
yeah. Trump and his MAGA ideology has destroyed our economy and education and on and on and on. I don't need to name it all.
Yeah.
But
Senator Tim Scott.
You know it's bad when well over half the people I know are talking about either moving to blue states or getting the hell out of the country altogether.
yeah,
I have never heard so many people talking about that. Not even when Obama was elected, because I remember hearing a whole bunch of Republicans saying, like, well, this is bullshit. I'm moving out of the country. I'm moving to Russia or wherever.
yeah.
And I was like, no, you're not. You're not going to do anything. You're going to sit your ass right here and you're going to deal with it and you're going to vote in 4 years. That's what you're going to do. I've never... And the thing is not only are people talking about it, people are doing it. People are leaving in droves, and I do not blame them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Trump went in and did this thing in Venezuela, and he's got the big head about it. He feels like the badass on the block, and so now it's go around and threaten everybody. And yeah, you want some of what I gave Venezuela, just mess with me, kind of deal. And that's I think that Trump's obviously always thinking about his pocket, but aside from that, I don't think that he thinks about the consequences of his actions or cares really. But
no,
because it'll be other people that pay the price. It'll be American troops that die because of these things. Not him, not his family.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he's never served in office. He is a 5-time draft dodger.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He was asked several years ago which foot did he have bone spurs on, and he could not remember. That's what got him out of the Vietnam War.
Yeah. Now,
bone spurs.
So I think it's here in a second, but we'll get there. But think about Lindsey Graham and what you remember him going on TV and doing here, because the grift is always at play, guys. The grift is always front and center. Let's let it play.
I know he's a lot to deal with, but I know he's your friend also. Trey Gowdy tells me the same thing. But in all seriousness, we really... Okay, with Venezuela in particular, I mean, that was a direct... We were pushing out China, Russia, and Iran all in one shot in our own hemisphere here. And I don't see how Cuba survives without Venezuelan energy, do you?
I do not at all. Let's get right back to the main thing. President Trump is a decisive, effective leader, and free people, are now celebrating in Venezuela and under dictators Cuba, Iran. Listen, People smell freedom in the air, and they can thank Donald J. Trump, our president, number 47, for the freedom they can feel in the air. And that's why people are rising up in countries run by dictators. They now know there might be hope, and that hope comes in the form of a president who believes in freedom and liberty and justice, and President Trump is delivering all across.
Hold on.
Oh, that's all true, except for the President Trump part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like the projection is out of this world.
Yeah, these people, what are they hoping, that you bomb all the boats that they send out in the water, and that you take their oil and drop bombs on them? Like, what are you talking about? Sure, there are people that are happy to see this happen, that don't consider the deeper consequences of what's going on here. They're just happy Maduro's out, right? That those people exist. That doesn't mean that these people are hopeful that Trump's going to come bomb and kill them in order to take their resources and then set puppet governments in place. Like, it's one dictator for another, only this one is going to take everything out of your country and keep it for himself.
Yeah, it's it's trading one for another, but it's just they cannot let. I'm waiting for them to drop the like freedom and liberty narrative, because eventually they're going to, but I don't know, they haven't dropped it yet, but they're going to eventually, and just be like, yeah, this is a dictatorship, deal with it.
Yeah, how is it freedom and liberty to say, well, Trump controls all of your money now and all of your resources, and is going to do with it as he pleases, and if they don't do what I say, then I'll put somebody else in. We'll have elections eventually, which they never will. How is this free and fair in any way?
It's not.
How is this liberty? Tim Scott's an idiot.
Yes, he is an idiot and has been for pretty much the entire time he's been in office.
Notice he changed the subject too, right? Like he didn't, yeah. But
the world, his adversaries fear him, and now our allies, they respect us. This is a good day.
Definitely.
Yeah. Not. No.
We have screwed over our allies repeatedly, and while Trump kisses ass to dictators and what he considers strong men, we have turned our backs on our allies and treated them horribly. Look no further than Canada.
And this is one thing that I've been saying for a while, is our international relations barely survived Trump 1, because after him, there was a lot of hope and a lot of promise and stuff on what we could do after that. And you could even see a lot of the European countries being like, okay, we're still a little guarded, but like, okay, this looks like it's a turning point. And then we go right back to Trump, and everyone else who is our allies is like, fuck this, they're not reliable, we're done. And it's one of those things that we are not going to regain our standing. And not saying that that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. I mean, there's elements that go both ways. But we're not going to regain our standing, at least in my lifetime. Like, we are done. We are no longer the world leader in anything. We are done. We are the world leader in tornadoes. That is about it.
Oh, man. All right. Here he goes.
Across the world for Americans and for free people stuck under dictators.
Amen.
You know, if the economy turns as we all expect it will. Especially the largest tax cuts in history, energy dominance, lower gas prices, GDP growth that even shocked me at 4.3% already.
Those are all false, by the way.
At lower interest rates, that will mean sale of pre-existing homes, new home construction starts. I think we're in for a prosperous year. If peace and prosperity drive elections, what happens in the midterms, Lindsay?
How is this peace and prosperity, by the way? You're on TV threatening every nation that you don't like. every
You are
nation
now,
that you want something from.
yeah. And even within our own borders, you're killing our own citizens.
Yeah.
This is not peace and prosperity. Like, holy crap, dude. And it's like, Lindsey Graham is, he is not like some members of Congress that I think would actually swallow this crap and believe it. He knows better.
Only in
We both
Kentucky
know
is
better.
somebody outside cutting grass in the middle of fucking January. What in the world? There's a lawnmower outside. I don't know if it's coming through the mic.
Oh,
not.
it's like 80 degrees here today in the middle of January.
Yeah, I mean it's like 60 here, but there's no grass to cut. I don't know what the hell's going on. But
we have
anyway,
grass.
sorry, sidetracked there by the rednecks outside my door. Let's go.
Well, I think we got to keep the Senate. We have 53 senators. Tim's going to tell you about the races. But the Democrats are spending, raising money like crazy. We got to keep our Senate majority. As Tim will tell you, it's the firewall. How do you get conservative judges on the bench? You got to have a Republican president and a Republican Senate. 6 of the 9 Supreme Court members were appointed by Republicans. So we need your help. If you want to have a firewall in the U.S. Senate to protect Trump's agenda, you need to give $5 or $10 tonight to lindseygraham.com. I'm going to share 50% of the money with Tim to help these 22 Senate races. We need to keep our Senate majority.
And there it is, right?
Help me keep my seat, please.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that the only reason that they have a Supreme Court majority is because Mitch McConnell is a bitch.
Right.
So, he's a lying, two-faced bitch.
Yeah. So, you're hearing our take on this, right? Everybody's hearing, you're hearing our opinion, and this is what we do here. And by the way, if you're new here, I see some people through chat and stuff. If you're new here and you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe subscribe. That'd be awesome. And I've been putting Lil's information in chat as well, and I will again here real quick go over and show her some love too on her channel. Lil does a lot of stuff with a lot of different people. You do a show with Ember, you do some collaborations with Jess here. In fact, some of the stuff is in this studio where you collaborate with Jess. You've been doing a lot of stuff with people and getting out there, so definitely go over and subscribe to Lil's channel too. Lil does crafts. There it is.
Yes, I do. I've got one based on Kip's book that I'm doing. I'm trying to find the supplies for it because I need very specific stuff, but I'm looking for it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that some good came out of an awful situation that we got to talking and got to do this. But like I said, this is our take on these things and our opinion, and we see people in the chat, talking about it as well. How is the right, specifically the religious right and the Christian nationalist movement, taking this?
They're losing their minds on being insane about it.
Yeah. What do they want? What do they always want?
I will show the earth what a nation looks like when they have called on God to come.
Wait.
Oh my God.
That's not the right clip. That's just their pipe dream. Let's see here. Hank Kunneman, what does he have to say about it?
They say you have seized Venezuela for the oil. Yes, this is true, that there is that which has been brought to the forefront of this earthly battle. But the enemy has sought and was seeking to bring war and to bring conflict through Venezuela and to control the oil of the earth. But the spiritual oil and the natural oil does not belong to the forces of darkness or to those who thought that they could bring a one world order. This is my reset. And
projection much? I mean,
just a little bit.
This is the worst hip hop show I've ever seen. Yeah. This clip's short. It's a minute 27. We're 47 seconds in. I'll let him play out and we'll talk about it.
And the oil of the natural and the oil of the Spirit is mine, says the Lord. Therefore I have said, I will shake the earth, that the gold and silver is mine, and you will see through the natural oil that gold and silver, and there will be a revaluing of currency, and there will be a flow not only of oil in the earth that will cause the pressure and cause that which has suppressed the people of nations. I will lift it through the oil of the natural, but this is the work of the oil of my Spirit, says the living God, that is destroying yokes and undoing heavy burdens through the oil of my Spirit, and it will be seen.
I changed my mind. That's enough.
Bonkers. Like,
yeah.
Absolute insanity.
Yeah. Incoherent mess. That's God's oil, and he wanted Trump to have it, right?
Oh, yeah, apparently.
Because that's what God cares about, is oil and Trump keeping the profits. That's what he wanted. Way to go, Hank. Way to show us you're full of shit.
Sorry, Ryan. She said you destroyed my egg yolk.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
baffles me. Like, I understand people do, but I do not understand how people watch that and believe that. Like, how? Like, dude, it is obvious. One, he sounds absolutely insane. Two, you can tell he is just rambling because he has no idea what to say after about 30 seconds in. And he's just like, let me just throw some words in here.
Yeah.
It sound good.
Bringing the oil of the natural through the supernatural oil, because God said it was an incoherent mess.
Does that make our cars supernatural?
Because God, yeah, yeah. I didn't even think of that. That's supernatural oil out there.
Yeah. Does it turn my car into a ghost car? That would be kind of cool.
They finally proven God, right? The oil does.
It's the oil. The oil is God.
Now, all right. So we've spent the first half of the show talking about Venezuela here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to move on to another topic, and I just want to tell everybody that there's, this is obviously there's parts of this that are kind of sensitive and things, and we're going to talk about the ICE shooting, murder that took place.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be clear, we will end the show on a lighter note, so it's not going to be all doom and gloom the whole time. We try to get the crazy, awful stuff out of the way and the bad stuff out of the way, and then we'll end on kind of a lighter note, guys. So just stick with me here. So I'm sure everybody is aware, and if you're not, I'm going to tell you. But there was a shooting in Minneapolis, and a ICE agent shot a young woman that was driving a vehicle, and I guess maybe I'll start with the claims about what they say it was, right?
And just for anybody watching, we have a screenshot from the video. We're not showing the video. That is available elsewhere online if you really want to see it. It's bad. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, I've got a screenshot, but it's for purpose. It's not to show that it happened. It's to show that the claims are false. So, but we're not showing the video of the shooting. It does exist, and it doesn't agree with their response either. But we'll start with what Trump said, and then we'll play Kristi Noem. Trump posted, I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety. But the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening and assaulting and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate.
Just
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody who does anything he doesn't like is a professional agitator or disorderly or just wants America to be unsafe.
The radical left.
Keep in mind, the biggest terrorist attack that we've had since 9/11 was caused by this fucker.
Yeah.
Like, he perhaps about the violence, especially against police officers, if it's his people doing it.
Right. And we will let's see what Kristi Noem said about it, because she's responsible for the Homeland Security. So here's her response.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened, it was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well. You've seen me in the last couple of days deploy over 2,000 more officers to the Minneapolis area. And in the last 2 days, we've arrested hundreds and hundreds of dangerous criminals. Not just fraudsters who stole from the American people billions of dollars and put it in their pockets and enriched their friends from overseas and themselves, but also individuals who committed acts of murder and rape and trafficking and drug exploitation and child exploitation.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is not true.
I mean, and one thing that me and you have both heard from former law enforcement, that they have said how this officer reacted was the exact opposite of how you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, these guys don't care. They're not trained. And even if they are trained, they know they can get away with it, so they do.
Yeah. So, real quick, and I'm not going to keep this up long, but this is a still of the moment that the shooting took place. And it's important to the narrative that they're putting forward.
Mm-hmm.
This vehicle is driving away. The officer with the arrow there murdered this woman. No officer was ran over. That didn't happen. That's a lie. This woman was so the ICE officers were walking down through there, and there's protests going on in this area, and this vehicle was in the road, and others had moved, and this one was stopped. And they walked up to this vehicle. They were stuck in the snow, by the way, but they walked up to this vehicle, and immediately this officer starts pulling his gun and reaching into the window. The woman is driving away from him. And let's be clear, first of all, ICE officers have no jurisdiction over American citizens, first of all. But he was reaching in and grabbing her and pulling for his gun, and she was trying to get away. Which, regardless of whether the legality of that, you don't get to shoot people in the face, and that's what he did. And this is murder. This is not justified in any way. There's videos of it. There's witnesses. The things that Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and Republicans are saying about this are false.
By the way, her 6-year-old son is now an orphan.
Yeah.
Because of this.
Yeah. This and I'll show her picture here in a minute. But yeah, this was a mother, and now her child has no mom because of Donald Trump's invasion of American cities.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear the mayor of Minneapolis talk about it, because I'm not the only one that says, it's not just me saying this is a lie and that I don't like it or whatever. This isn't me saying this. This is from watching and I've seen the video, and this is from seeing what actually happened, and they're lying. I mean, it's just a lie. But here's the mayor of Minneapolis to fill you in.
There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the f*** out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Mm-hmm. Next, a message to our community. Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants.
Mm-hmm. That's a really
important point. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military.
Go ahead.
That's a really important point on not giving the administration, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to start riots. They are trying to give him an excuse. And we've proven through the No Kings protest and several other protests that have happened, we can have freaking gigantic protests that are peaceful, don't turn violent. But the thing is, they are constantly ramping this up because now they've realized that just kidnapping people off the street is not enough to get violent protests. So now they start killing people. And here's the thing to remember. If they will do this to a U.S. citizen, what the crap are they doing to the people they arrest?
Yeah.
They are literally disappearing people.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was picked up, and we had no idea where she was for 4 days until she finally got a call to her husband and said, they're putting me on a plane tomorrow. What the hell do I do? And they left the country, and they are like, and he's a U.S. citizen. He's like, I'm not coming back. I'm done. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
And this was early on in all this. And from everything I have heard, it has just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. They're trying to start riots. They're trying to give him an excuse. Don't do it. Don't give him an excuse.
And we've seen through the No Kings protests that people can have these historical, massive protests peacefully. There were like no arrests during the last one. It was virtually no arrests to speak of anyway. It was overall peaceful.
New York City did not have a single arrest, which, think about it, New York City, that's a pretty big deal for as big as, I think theirs was like 100,000 people. It was huge. Not a single arrest.
And people around the country, though, they're seeing this stuff about ICE, and I see the argument in chat going on there. This was a murder. There's no argument there. There was nobody being ran over. There's videos of it. She was trying to escape. That's just not true. But and people see through the bullshit, and that's why when I look at my news feed, this is what I see. And we're starting on the better side of this on the way home here, guys. So, but my news feed is, and this is Renee Good up here in the top left, the lady that was shot and killed. The people are protesting in Columbus, Ohio, in Minneapolis, of course, Detroit, Sacramento, cities all over the country, and here's more. And this is what my news feed is filled up with now on YouTube, because people know this is bullshit. They know this is wrong. People aren't falling for the lies. They're not just believing whatever said, the narrative, the same way that Joe is in the chat there. People are seeing through the bullshit, and they know that what's going on is nothing less than Trump is attacking American people who disagree with him. If you're an American and they said it plainly in the thing, you think the troops are in the American cities. So you think whenever they say, when J.D. Vance and Lindsey Graham says, if you defy Trump, then you'll find out, like that's what they're doing to Americans. If you don't agree with Trump and you don't submit to him being the greatest president ever and doing things right, then this is what you get. And they're attacking American citizens.
And the one thing to have a little bit of hope with this is you see people who were hardcore MAGA who are like, I am so done with Trump and not backing him. One little good news thing that some people may have seen, the QAnon shaman is just like, no, fuck Trump, we're done.
Yeah.
And and the thing is like, that's been happening more and more. He is losing support like mad.
Yeah. And the ICE agents, people are finding different ways to stand up to them and to not just let them run over people. And here's a great example of that, and an article that I'm happy to share with you. The Hilton Hotel refused ICE agents rooms, the Trump administration says. Department of Homeland Security staff seeking hotel rooms in Minneapolis were denied once their identities as government immigration agents were revealed. The Trump administration claimed on Monday, alleging Hilton hotels had launched a coordinated campaign. When officers attempted to book rooms using official government emails and rates, Hilton hotels maliciously canceled their reservations. DHS wrote on X, "This is unacceptable. In its post, the agency appeared to reference the biblical story of Mary and Joseph, for fuck's sake, being denied room at the inn ahead of the birth of Jesus, and shared a pair of redacted screenshots regarding the alleged cancellation in Minnesota. Are you fucking serious? I'm going to finish it and I'll get back to it. But after further investigation online, we have found information about immigration work connected with your name and will be canceling your upcoming reservation, reads one of the messages dated January 2nd, which features an @Hilton email address and reference to the Everpeak Hospitality Group. We are not allowing any ICE immigration agents to stay at our property. Another message purportedly from the leadership of the Hampton Inn Lakeview reads. So, yeah. Can you believe that they had to bring Jesus?
Are they comparing ICE agents to Jesus?
Yeah. Refusing
Isn't
ICE
that
agents.
blasphemy?
Yeah. Not letting ICE agents profile and arrest anybody with brown skin is the same as not letting Jesus be born in the inn.
If Jesus were to magically appear in front of them, they would arrest him because he would not look native, or he would not look like he's supposed to be American.
I've always said if Jesus ever, if all the stories were real, if Jesus came back, the Christians would kill him. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They. But yeah. If Jesus came out of that inn, ICE is putting his ass on a plane too. So
yeah.
It's I'm glad to see that they are doing this, and they can bitch about it all they want. These are private businesses; they can refuse rooms to anybody.
They scream about capitalism. Capitalism is great. Blah blah blah. Part of that is being able to refuse service to people, which means that hey, they can refuse service to ICE. I sure as hell would too. If I owned my own business, I don't want ICE anywhere near me. Goodbye. No. No, I'm not. And good for them for saying like, no, we're not going to have ICE agents staying here.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably means they have to go down the road to like Motel 6 or something, but at least that's one place they can't stay. That needs to happen all across the country with everybody. They need to be having a hard ass time finding places to stay. They should have to sleep in their offices.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, you can even do it from if you want to justify it from a safety position. Like, what you're doing is creating an unsafe environment, and we don't want you here. Like, not that they need to give that excuse, but so I'm sure they'll be hiding their identity in the future even more.
And the thing about hiding their identity is they think that the internet doesn't exist, and they think that people cannot figure out who the hell they are. We're going to figure out who the hell you are, and we will hold you accountable at some point. Don't think you're getting out of this.
Yeah. Before I have one more clip, and before I play it though, let's see here. So this thing with ICE has been a problem since the beginning, and Trump's sent people into cities and pulled them out. I mean, the ICE agents are always there, but he sent troops actually into cities and then pulled them back out because he had to, kind of. What he's doing is not popular with the American people. He's way underwater on his approval ratings, even among Republicans. Like, most Republicans are not with him on this, on his handling of immigration or the economy or foreign policy or anything. Trump is a failure. He's a weak little man and a failure. And I think that this last clip we're going to show here shows that he realizes the writing's on the wall. He knows what's coming. Trump, and I mean, maybe he doesn't realize it because he thinks the economy is great and everybody loves him and all that crap. But maybe somebody told him because he doesn't read. But yeah, so this is, he goes on about a bunch of other crap and he says a bunch of horrible things in this. But at the beginning here, pay attention because this is the happy moment where he knows what's coming, and it is coming. Republicans are going to lose badly in the midterms. Democrats will take over both houses, most likely. Definitely the House of Representatives, which they may lose before the midterms get here. There was they had a representative die this week, and another one's in the hospital. And Marjorie Taylor Greene quit. Of course, her seat will be filled, but currently that puts them at like a 1-seat majority. And the extension of the Affordable Care Act stuff, have they passed it yet? Because it's tomorrow. They'll vote on it tomorrow, and most likely it'll pass in the House. Now, the Senate may block it from going forward, but it will most likely pass in the House. I think today they were voting on restricting Trump's war powers because of this Venezuela thing. Now, that's probably not going to go anywhere, but that's it. But anyway, let's hear Trump admit that he knows he's fucked.
You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached. We don't impeach them. You know why? Because they're meaner than we are. We should have impeached.
Hold on. We don't impeach them because they don't break the law the way that you do.
Yeah, you don't. And here's the thing. He's already been impeached twice. So he is already the most impeached president in history.
Yeah.
If Democrats do take at least the House, he is going to get impeached again.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious. I heard it the other day on how many impeachments can he possibly rack up. Dude, he could rack up so many at this point. And the thing is you can see I've heard from a few formerly Republican analysts and stuff say that they think that there's a good chance that you're going to start seeing Republicans drop him after the filing deadlines for their primaries if they don't have a primary challenger. Because then, of course, like, nobody's running for their seat against them in their own primary. But it's one of those things that there's also been reports of some people basically begging Trump's people, don't send him over here to campaign. We don't need him. Don't send him over here. They are trying to back out of this as fast as they can, and they're not going to be able to. I mean, you can look at all the elections that they've had in the last year, and they've all gone to Democrats. Like, it's just, people are sick of this shit.
Yeah. And Justin, the thing about impeaching him is it's going to be hard for them to say that to not convict him of these things and remove him from office. And that doesn't fix everything, obviously. But if they don't remove him, that means that Republicans have to stand and say that Trump didn't do these things that he did, that they've admitted that he did openly, that they've spoke out against him doing. And I think, though, that, Trump is obviously in mental decline. Doctors, experts all over the place have talked about this, and he's some medical things have happened. I suspect he's had a stroke at least, and there's some dementia or Alzheimer's. He's got a family history,
Yeah, if you know anybody who's ever had dementia, my grandmother did, and I was one of her caretakers for a couple years. You can see the signs all over him. It's one of those things that if you know the signs, if you've seen it, you know it when you see it again.
Yeah. Yeah, and they may remove him under the 25th Amendment before he
Mhm.
ever gets impeached, just to save him that. But
What
they can still impeach him. But
Yeah, what I think, honestly, what I think they're going to do is, I think until if his popularity drops much further, if it drops to like the high 20s, then I can see the Republicans basically trying to get him out of office any way possible, to
yeah,
get Vance in, to try and rehab like their image as much as possible in the next 2.5 years before the next presidential election. I can see
yeah,
them trying to do damage control like mad. And Vance is such a slimy little critter that, yeah, he used to call Trump America's Hitler.
yeah.
So he'll do whatever he has to.
Direct quote.
If he thinks that there's a chance that he can run for president, he is going to do whatever he has to do to make it sound like, oh no, I'm a good guy now. Like, I realize the wrong of my whatever the hell he's going to say. And I think there's a good chance that if it becomes absolutely clear that Trump is not going to make it to the end of his term, that they would try to get him out early if they can. So
Right,
we'll see what happens.
right. Well, I don't think I need to play the other stuff that he said there, because he gets into a bunch of transphobic shit and everything else, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, even though we know it's Trump and whatever, there's no reason to even play those words. It doesn't add anything to it by going on through that. He says the same shit he always says.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, that's the end of the stuff that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It worked out to write out about 2 hours and gave us a little
Mm-hmm.
time here at the end, so I can talk to everybody here and tell you a little bit of what we're going to be doing with the show and what's coming up and stuff. So this show, we're going to continue doing the show in this format somewhat. I am always open to having people on as guests. If you want to come on and chat politics with Lil and I, shoot me an email at the Kentucky Atheist at Gmail, and I would, whether you agree with us or disagree, you can come on and we can talk about it. I do plan to do some of these shows as we'll cover some things, and then also maybe open it up and let people come in and give their opinions and stuff on it too. Not every show, but we'll do some shows like that too, where people can come on and talk. What do you got? I see you wanting to speak. What is it?
Jason Jacoby said, I wouldn't be surprised if the GOP ran AI Jesus in 28. If you haven't seen it, I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was Glenn Beck did AI George Washington. Holy shit. Wow. That's one of those clips that is kind of terrifying and amazing that he thought that was a good idea to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to laugh, go check that out.
Yeah. AI Jesus. No thanks. But yeah, we're gonna continue doing this and stuff, and I hope that if you're new here or whatever, that you subscribe and turn on notifications so you know. But as of right now, the plan is to do this every Thursday at 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll come on shortly after you're done on Ember's show over there, and talk politics and stuff. And I think we had an excellent discussion. I'm glad that you joined me, and I look forward to doing more of this. I think we covered it. I think we did a good job today. If
Oh, I
if
had a
you do
blast.
or don't agree with me, leave a comment in the video and tell me, and we'll talk about it. We're not afraid of anyone who wants to challenge our positions on these things. If you want to, if you've got something you want to say, you have to let me know so I can schedule it. I can't just argue with you in chat while the show's going on. So if you have some position that you think I'm getting things wrong or whatever, let me know. And if I'm wrong about something, I don't care to admit that I'm wrong about it. I've seen that the like with Kip earlier with the Ayatollah and the Shah thing. Yeah, Kip was exactly right, and it was something that I skipped over and should have included.
I
But
forgot about it too. So
this is two people from very red areas in the United States.
I
Who don't
am
agree with
literally I'm the literally one of two blue dots in this entire region that I know of. I am
Yeah.
also one of two atheists that I know, and
Yeah.
that's it.
The other atheist I know is my girlfriend. She's in the room next to me. So, yeah, not a lot of that. And if you feel like you're in an isolated situation like that, that's what we try to do here is include people who want to have the conversation. You don't have to agree with us, but if you do, there's like-minded people here and a good community here that wants to support others and talk to people and everything. And so, yeah, hang out and see what we got for you. There's lots more great stuff coming. Lil, do you want to talk a little bit about your channel real quick, and so people can find you over there?
Yeah, I have a channel. It's called Lil of All Trades. It should pop up in the chat in a few minutes. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I talk about skepticism. I do a bunch of crafty stuff. The last couple live streams I've done, I've just been knitting and talking about whatever the hell is going on. And yeah, so and I'm also here. I will also be uploading this to my channel after we're done. So
awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. Let's see. I mentioned the thing with Robin earlier. You can catch that here. Robin will be debating Stephen over from Proverbs Guys, and that'll be mirrored on this channel. That's not until the 16th, though. I've got Justin from This Just In coming up. You've seen him in chat as Yahooligan. We did a collaboration thing here recently, and it went really well. And Justin's got good stuff, puts a lot of work into his videos and stuff over there. So I'm going to have him on to talk. And I'm working on scheduling some other people and stuff, and I'll post that stuff. If you want to keep up with what I've got coming up and everything, you can join my Discord, follow me on Facebook, the Kentucky Atheist everywhere. My Discord's been rolling through the chat. In fact, I can see it now. And it's also on my channel. So a lot of the discussion and stuff goes on there. There's a politicality section over there where folks talk politics there too. So if you wanna join and stuff, you can. If not, that's fine. I don't care. But it's your opportunity to let me know I'm either a dumbass or you agree with me or whatever. So it's up to you. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it up, though. So thank you so much, everybody that came and watched today. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Thank you, Lil, for joining me and doing the show with me and stuff. I think we're going to make a great time talking about these things, and I look forward to what we do in the future. And
I have been wanting to do this for 14 years. So
I'm sorry you got stuck with me.
So this is kind of a dream come true for me. I've been wanting to do this for 14 years. I was just, until I finally got on YouTube, I just wasn't really confident enough to do it. And a lot of things have happened in the past year. And I'm just like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. So I'm happy I did.
I don't know why that's not working. Answer. I'll look at that and see what's up with the bot. That should be pulling it up. But yeah, and I see you, Kelly, and I'll get with you and we'll get you scheduled. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming, and we'll catch you next time. Later.
Bye.